Welcome to Resource Stadium in Corvallis, Oregon. Badger fans have made the long trek from Madison to the far northwest. And Oregon State hopes to pull off one of the big upsets of the day in college football. 13th ranked Wisconsin and Oregon State. And it's right now on Fox Sports. Craig Bullerjack along with Joel Klatt. So glad you're with us. And Oregon State head coach Mike Riley calls this the biggest non-conference game ever to come to Corvallis.
And that's because of the strength of the Wisconsin Badgers. In the 7 seasons now that Brett Bielema has been the head coach for Wisconsin, they have averaged 10 wins a season. They've got 2 straight Rose Bowl berths, plus the only Heisman finalist coming back in college football, Montee Ball. In his 19 starts as a running back for the Badgers, he scored 54 touchdowns, the most productive back we've seen since Barry Sanders. For Oregon State, Mike Riley has made a habit of beating ranked teams. In fact, in the last 7 years, they've beat 9 ranked teams. They hope the 10th comes today at home.
All right, a good one ready to go here in Corvallis. The Big Ten up against the Pac-12. Wisconsin and Oregon State, a rematch from last year's battle at Camp Randall. It's all next. Stay tuned on Fox College Football. Welcome back, Fox College Football. 13th ranked Wisconsin on the road in Corvallis to take on Oregon State. Petros Papadakis will give us a unique look from the field this afternoon. And Petros Heisman hopeful Montee Ball brings a lot of hype today to Corvallis. That puts a lot of pressure on Oregon State's defense.
That's right, Craig, and the strength of this Beaver defense is from the outside in. And when they have good corners, they're a good defense. And I got news for you. This year, they have good corners. Rashad Reynolds is solid, and Jordan Poyer is one of the country's best, an all Pac-12 performer. That enables Mark Banker, the Beaver defensive coordinator, to do some things with the safeties inside the run box and stop that Heisman hopeful Montee Ball. We'll see.
All right, Petros. Good matchup today. Head coaches Mike Riley, 12th year, his second stop here in Corvallis. 72 wins along the way. His counterpart across the field, Brett Bielema, in his 7th season in Wisconsin. Big Ten champs, lost the Rose Bowl a year ago to Oregon. 10 straight bowl games for the Badgers, and they're trying to go 2-0 for the 11th consecutive year. And this crowd has talked about upset. Can they win one today? The Beavers, of course, scheduled to open up at home here last week, Joel, against Nicholls State. But Hurricane Isaac came ashore, and that kept Nicholls State in Thibodaux, Louisiana.
Got to handle the nerves of a first game. It's going to be very difficult against the 13th ranked team in the country, the Wisconsin Badgers.
Wisconsin won the toss. They chose to receive. It's the opener for Oregon State, week 2 for Wisconsin. No return. And Wisconsin will start their first offensive series at the 25-yard line. Joel, let's look at today's Taco Bell starting lineup offensively for the Badgers.
Rick Wagner, the lone offensive lineman back from the Rose Bowl team of 2 years ago, 2010. By the way, the other 4, they're all in the NFL. Wagner is an Outland Trophy candidate. Jared Abbrederis led the team with 933 yards receiving last season as a walk-on. Now he's got a scholarship, and he's the #1 option for quarterback Danny O'Brien.
And coming to the line is Danny O'Brien, the transfer from Maryland last week in that win against Northern Iowa. 219 yards, a couple of touchdowns. He was 19 of 23 with his arm. This time a little short dump down. And he goes to his tight end, Wozniak. Picks up his 2nd catch of the year. Now let's look at it on the defensive side. For Oregon State, brought to you once again by Taco Bell.
Scott Crichton, just a sophomore, but was a freshman All-American a year ago, gets to the quarterback very well. Fedti Taumoepeau missed 4 games with a knee injury last year. Best defensive player in the middle, and in the back end, Jordan Poyer, one of the best corners in all of the country. In fact, some services have him rated as high as the #2 corner in the country.
2nd down and 5 after the 5-yard catch by Wozniak. They'll go on the ground. And the Beavers come in and drop Montee Ball to the ground at the 31-yard line. Crichton got the first hit. Montee Ball, 32 carries last week, 120 yards. He had to work for that yardage against maybe a surprising Northern Iowa club.
The rhythm for Wisconsin wasn't there in the second half last week against Northern Iowa. They must establish the run early. This makes it difficult being in a 3rd and 3 situation.
In the backfield, Ball and James White. O'Brien sets his feet up over the top. That ball nearly intercepted at the 45-yard line. Jordan Poyer, captain, left corner. He is a dynamite player for Oregon State.
Poyer read the eyes of O'Brien. They were trying to run a smash concept, high over the top, short underneath. Poyer just out of his reach. Good safety help over the top, making sure that if that ball was complete, they were in line for the tackle. Oregon State, the first 3 and out of the day.
Poyer nearly just intercepted that pass. Now he's back to return the kick inside his own 30-yard line. Low snap. Badgers get it away. Good high hanger. Fair catch, wave 4. And Poyer's underneath it at the 25-yard line. Offensively for Oregon State, brought to you by Taco Bell.
Isaac Seumalo, one of two true freshman centers that are starting in FBS, the other over in Hawaii. How does he deal with the big atmosphere being a young true freshman? And then in the back end, Storm Woods, another young player, a redshirt freshman, very talented guy. They think he can join the line of great Oregon State running backs that have been through here over the last 10 and 12 seasons.
Under center is a 6'5" Sean Mannion. He's the first sophomore at Oregon State to be named a team captain. A lot of responsibilities on his shoulders. He sets his feet and throws on first down. Incompletes the call, and it was Marcus Wheaton, the intended receiver. Cromartie, the corner, on coverage. And defensively for Wisconsin, today's lineups, again, brought to you by Taco Bell.
Bo Allen, a huge force stop in the run, 330 pounds up front, and he will be matched up against that true freshman, Seumalo. Chris Borland, all Big Ten performer last season as a linebacker, had over 140 tackles, always around the ball. And then Desmond Southward, he's their youngest and most inexperienced secondary player, but he's the most talented of the bunch in the back end.
Oregon State incomplete on their first throw of the afternoon. Manning goes back to the air, feels pressure. That ball may have been tipped to the line of scrimmage, and it falls incomplete. 3rd down and 10 for the Beavers.
There was Bo Allen right away. Told you it was a forced stop in the run, but getting in to the interior of the pocket and forcing Sean Mannion to throw that ball before he wanted to forces a long down situation. This is a perfect opportunity for Wisconsin to dial up a pressure against Sean Mannion.
You know, are you surprised that Mannion, of course, tried to establish the pass game, but last year was all about the ground game? Less than 87 yards per contest for Oregon State.
Yeah, but they threw it 3,300 yards with Sean Mannion. Very proficient through the air.
Beavers spread the field on 3rd down and short. Mannion, good protection, throws far sideline. First down, move the chains. First down at the 28-yard line. Nice hole. Pushing the pile is Storm Woods. Oh, and the crowd responds. Woods, a redshirt freshman, had a great talk yesterday with Mike Riley about Storm Woods. He was redshirted because he needed a year simply of maturation. He has all the skills you need to play the running back position.
How about him taking it right to Chris Borland in the middle of the defense, number 44. An outstanding all Big Ten linebacker, and the redshirt freshman just puts his hat right in his chest, drives ahead, 2nd and 2.
Number 24 has good hands as well. He'll catch the ball out of the backfield. Play clock under 5. It's down to 2. Just got the snap away. Good throw. Near side. That is a tough pass, as you know. Joel Klatt, Brandon Cook with the reception. Knocked down by Cromartie. And Joel, time now for today's key to the game, presented to you by Ford.
For Wisconsin, it's continue to win the turnover battle. No team in college football has turned the ball over less in the last 2 years than Wisconsin. They've only had 19 turnovers. And for Oregon State, settle in. It's the biggest non-conference game in Oregon State history here in Corvallis, and it's the first game. Got to settle in and play well in the first quarter. They're doing that on this second series.
Badgers show blitz. They got man coverage on the far side. Pitch and catch. Cooks with big yardage. They're going to mark him out of bounds. at the 50-yard line. Back to Patrick we go. An update on USC.
Yeah, Craig, you mentioned the Trojans. Ask and you shall receive. Matt Barkley, Marquise Lee. What a start for Lee. Trojans on the board at Syracuse. 7-0 is the score. Craig, Joel, back to you.
Thank you, Patrick. Can anyone stop the arm of Barkley?
Well, they didn't do it the last 6 games of last season, and they're not doing it so far in this season either. 370-plus yards for Barkley in week 1 against Hawaii. Looks like he picked up right where he left off now against Syracuse.
2nd down and 1. Nearly a free play for Mannion. Stands up, throws it midfield. What a catch. And double coverage at the 41-yard line. Colby Prince, the tight end, and I'm going to have to say it, but that was a prince of a reception.
I got to agree with you. My goodness. He turns around and Mannion throws an absolute bullet right to the top of his forehead. Tries to bring it down. He gets hit by Borland. They're wrestling for the ball. It comes away, Oregon State football, and another first down. And Sean Mannion has settled into this football game. He is starting to carve up Wisconsin's defense with the short passing game.
They're mixing the run and the pass. Lone back now is Woods on 1st down. Hops and skips, finds a hole, and shuts down in a hurry at the 40-yard line. A pickup of 2.
Pickup of 1 on the play.
Clock rolls up on 5 minutes, and Petros, I would think you're seeing what we're seeing, and that's a good mix of play calling by Danny Langsford, the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, Danny Langsdorff doing a great job of really getting the short pass and the running back.
All you have to do is get the ball to Marcus Wheaton. He's dangerous in the open field.
He very much is, and I love what Sean Mannion is doing, taking what the defense gives. They're having a lot of success against Wisconsin on this series when they're spreading the formation out. Wisconsin wants to play with 2 safeties, and when you're able to play with 2 safeties, you can run the football on them. Well, Storm Woods creased him a couple of times. That brings the safety down into the box, opens up the outside of the field, and Sean Mannion is taking advantage of that free access corner on the outside.
2 wide receivers, Cooks and Wheaton up top. Deep drop, Mannion poised, and then throws it away. Incomplete. That brings up 2nd down.
Remember during the lineups, I told you there's a true freshman center out there, and we haven't said his name, and because of that, he's done a fantastic job. I was fully expecting at least one time Isaac Seumalo and Sean Mannion were going to have trouble with the snap. They have had 0 trouble, and the protection from the front 5 have been fantastic.
He's the son of the Oregon State offensive line coach, Joe Seumalo. 2nd down, long. Set up a screen. They got a wall of blockers. Oh, what a hit. Storm Woods takes a pop, but he jumps right back up at the 31-yard line.
Knocked out of bounds.
How about the pads popping here in Corvallis on week 2? Wow. Storm Woods, the redshirt freshman. Johnson comes up from the secondary. That is a collision right there. Brings up a crucial situation. Sean Mannion got to be careful with the football. 3rd down.
Mannion 7 of 10 here in the opening quarter. 51 yards through the air. He'll take it from the shotgun. Dances over the top. Again, threads the needle. That ball is caught at the 24-yard line. First it was Colby Prince. Now the backup tight end, Connor Hamlet, with the reception.
They're waiting. Offense is going to stay on the field. Mike Riley going to go for it.
Trying to make a statement early. Why not? 13th ranked team in the nation. And as he called it, Joel, the biggest non-conference game to come to Corvallis.
They're playing like it so far. Defense has been spectacular. 4th and 2. Mannion in the gun.
Woods alongside. Surveys the field. Dumps it up. The ball's tipped incomplete. Nearly intercepted at the 25-yard line. Hemer really brought pressure on top of Sean Mannion. So the Badgers hold. Impressive drive, though, by Oregon State. Scoreless in Corvallis on Fox. Saturday afternoon, Corvallis, Oregon. Wisconsin in town. That is interesting because Oregon State has controlled the tempo thus far offensively with 16 plays, and really maybe their best offense is to keep that defense fresh.
Their defense has been very good, but I'm surprised with the play selection from Wisconsin. They've got to establish the run. I feel like they're allowing Danny O'Brien to drop back and try to throw the ball way too much right now. Montee Ball can turn this game around on this series.
Handoff, however, goes out to James White, who lined up in the backfield. He'll pick up 8. White and Watt in the backfield for the Badgers. Packed up. That hole shut down in a hurry. Reuben Robinson, number 13, the middle linebacker, with the stop.
Here comes James White. Just a downhill zone read. And there's nowhere to go. Oregon State does a tremendous job of being gap sound. No cutback lane for James White. Nowhere to go. Has to run into the teeth of that defense. And Oregon State facing another third down situation, another opportunity to get off the field.
Montee Ball returns. He shares snaps with James White. He's the lone back on 3rd down and 1. Ball gets the carry right side. Hits a wall. Dropped. He'll lose a half a yard. Back to the 28. What a hit. DJ Welch, the Sam linebacker. Number 4 put the smack on Montee Ball.
He only weighs 225 pounds, DJ Welch, and he comes through there. What a terrific stop for Oregon State. And now this stadium is starting to get behind this club. This is a much different team than we saw last year already, offensively and defensively, showing much more aptitude for things like stopping the run, which they weren't able to do a year ago against Wisconsin.
Meyer set to punt, 20-yard line. Fourier set to receive. 3rd time he's had to wave it for a fair catch at the 31-yard line. They went to Montee Ball. He came up short, needed just a yard. The Badgers punt, and we're scoreless in Corvallis. And here we go again. 3rd offensive series. That last drive by the Beavers, very impressive, Joel Platt. Very impressive.
Wisconsin ran 12 offensive plays for only 2.9 yards per play. Meanwhile, on the other side, Oregon State, 16 plays, 4.8 yards per play. A clear game plan establishing itself for Oregon State offensively.
1st and 10, Oregon State, 3rd offensive series, 31-yard line. Quick throw, far side. Open fancy pitch and catch. Here we go. Cooks on the run. Past midfield. Brandon Cooks, he's 5'10". You blink an eye and you miss him.
He creates coverage problems with his speed. An easy pitch and catch. Every time that Wisconsin's corners are off, Sean Mannion is just standing up and throwing the football out to his outside wide receiver with a single safety. And Cooks takes it down the sidelines after one move. How about the electricity from Cooks?
26-yard reception, biggest play of the day for Oregon State. Cooks had 31 catches last year for nearly 400 yards. And right now, Joel, Wisconsin having trouble with the quick outs.
Every single time Wisconsin goes to a one safety look, the corners have deep responsibility. That's in my book called free access. Sean Mannion is just stepping up and throwing to the wide receiver. Easy game plan for Oregon State. And although it's 0-0, all the confidence and momentum on the Beavers side of the field. Brett Bielema has to figure out what he needs to do defensively to stop Sean Mannion in this offense.
Start the 2nd quarter here in Corvallis, and Oregon State for the 2nd straight series. Joel Klatt moving the football on Wisconsin. 2nd down, 35-yard line. Wheaton and Cooks lined up top your screen. Woods the lone back. They hand it off to Storm, hits a pile, not much. Let's go downstairs. Petros, the emotion in the stadium belongs to Oregon State.
Absolutely. It's an electric feeling right now in Reser Stadium. And Oregon State, as you guys pointed out, is controlling this football game. Wisconsin has had no opportunity to catch any rhythm on offense. And here's how you know a Wisconsin team is in trouble. They had 2nd and 2, and they couldn't get a first down. That means the Beavers are controlling this game. But they need points. I think they should have kicked that field goal.
Great point, P. Probably should have kicked the field goal with the defensive line owning that line of scrimmage, no doubt.
Play action, good protection. Underthrown by Mannion to the fullback Anderson. That brings up 4th down and 3. Now, this is almost the exact situation that Mike Riley was in the first quarter, Joel.
They had a little better field position the last time he went for it. They're going to go for it again. Mike Riley's keeping his offense on the field. Second time during the course of this game that Sean Mannion is going to get the snap on 4th down.
Empty backfield. Long snap count. Mannion. 2-step drop, throws, caught, dropped. 1st down at the 30-yard line. And now the crowd kind of gets a buzz in the house.
How about Kevin Cummings? He was going to get popped right when he caught that football. Mannion put that ball right where it had to be, out in front and then directly on the numbers. Allows the receiver to protect himself with that defensive player coming up for the hit.
Needed 3 yards. Oregon State got 4. Lone back is Woods as the drive continues on the boot. Now he sets his feet, looks one way, goes the other, and throws it into the Oregon State sideline. Incomplete. Mannion so far. Petros very calm, cool, collected, but yet no points on the board, and they've really controlled this game offensively thus far.
The Beavs are doing a great job of attacking the perimeter, as Joel has been pointing out, and Wisconsin doesn't quite have an answer for it, but they have to dink and dunk down the field. That 4th down was huge because the Beavs have dominated the entire first half, but so far they got nothing to show for it.
11 of 17, 97 yards for Mannion. He's had 6 different receivers here in the first half. Straight back drop, throw.
Pocket, and then he's just taking exactly what the defense gives him, a simple curl flat combination. The linebacker doesn't go wide with that flat route, and he just dumps it right to him on the sidelines. A terrific throw, hitting him inbounds, and a better catch getting his feet down. Hamlet now brings up a 3rd and 6 opportunity for Oregon State.
Hamlet, big target, 6'7", puts Mannion over 100 yards. And now the 8th play of this drive at the Badger 26. Good protection over the middle. Ball was deflected, incomplete. You had a wide open receiver at the 20. That would have been close to a 1st down. Now 4th down for the Beavers.
I think you got to kick this, and that's what they're going to do.
Points.
Mannion's going to jog off the field. I thought he was trying to force this ball into some traffic. Gilbert did a great job of getting his hand on that football. Amazing athletic play there, but now Oregon State with a chance to finally get on the scoreboard after dominating most of the first half so far.
Romaine will try the 43-yard field goal attempt. He was 3 of 8 a year ago from 40+. His longest 46. Good foot, looks long enough. Got it. Romaine from 43 yards. Oregon State on the board in Corvallis. (3-0) Oregon State. Trevor Romaine, 43-yard field goal. He's got it teed up at the 35. New college rule this season, Joel, as they go from the 30 to the 35-yard line. And only a 5-yard run for the kickoff team, trying to protect the return man. Here we go. Oh, he has to come out. Melvin Gordon. Pause for just a moment, came out of the end zone, and he'll take it back up to the 16. Ball, 5 carries for 16 yards. They on a pitch. They spread it out defensively, and a good job, a 1-yard pickup. Ryan Murphy from the free safety spot. Beautiful. Thank you, Patrick. Joel, you used to draw that up in the playground, right?
Oh, yeah. Right in the dirt right there. There's no doubt. Electric environment down there in College Station, I'm sure. We got a pretty good one here ourselves in Corvallis.
Now they're revving up the amps. Blitz on the corner. That forces an early throw by O'Brien. Incomplete. And Joel, I will say this. Last year, Camp Randall, it was a runaway 35-0 win for Wisconsin. Here, you've got to ride the wave of emotion of your hometown crowd.
Plus, last year's Oregon State Beaver team, very young and inexperienced. You're seeing a team that went through the growing pains a year ago. Mike Riley had that smile on his face yesterday in his office. He said, guys, I feel real good about this team this year. We wish you could have had that first game, but they're playing awfully well today against Wisconsin.
Badgers 0 for 3 on third down tries. Danny O'Brien. Ball stays in the backfield. The pocket collapses and he slingshots it incomplete. That brings up fourth down. And then once again, Oregon State holds. DJ Welch, nice first half, bringing the pressure on Danny O'Brien.
A blitz from his linebacker spot, and he keeps contained. He got himself too far inside, realized it, got all the way to the outside, and didn't allow Danny O'Brien to get to the edge and get that ball down the field. Forces a throwaway. Oregon State's defense has been fantastic today.
Wisconsin punts from the 5. High hanger. Poyer is yet to return a punt. Underneath it, 31-yard line. Head to the far sideline. What a block! Oh, now late flags come out. Poyer 50, 45, another flag. Poyer 30. Well, this one's going to come back.
You can tell the coaching staff telling them, got to be smarter than that. Pretty clear that that was at least on the side, if not in the back, and you better be completely squared up.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both against the return team. Pushing the back, number 56. That penalty's declined. Pushing the back, number 28. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
A little bit more than a push in the back. I got to tell you, but he zeroed in on that.
Clock running up on 3 minutes left to play in this first half. 5 on the play clock. Badgers show blitz, and they just get the snap away. It's fumble. And that's a concern that we talked about, the exchange from the freshman center to Sean Mannion.
Going to be second down. Oregon State dodges a bullet. But there's the true freshman, Isaac Seumalo, having to go against that big Badger defensive front. See the linebackers locked up, and he's having to go all the way over there when a lineman has to reach all the way across one gap. That's a very tough snap to get, and it takes an experienced center. He's really got to keep his hand back there and allow that quarterback to get the ball. The youngster doesn't do that. Ball ended up on the ground.
A loss of 1, second down 11. Mannion dancing, throws underneath. It's caught by Woods, but he's immediately taken down at the 31-yard line. Maybe a yard back on that play. Mike Taylor, middle linebacker, or the weak side backer, who was #1 in the Big Ten last year. It's when you look at the numbers he possessed in tackles, 150. That's staggering, 3rd best in the nation.
He is Borland and Taylor on the inside. They're 2 linebackers, both with over 140 tackles. Borland an all Big Ten performer.
There's a look at Mannion. He's looking at 3rd down and 8 from his own 32-yard line. Steps up, throws, got coverage on the man on the sideline. Caught Wheaton. Took advantage with man coverage, and Wheaton beat Shelton Johnson, the strong safety.
Here's Wheaton working against Marcus Cromartie, just his own defense. Did you see that fake to the inside? He got the safety to sit. That one step buys him a half a step on the outside, allows Mannion to complete that pass. Another first down for the Beavers.
5th reception for 52 yards for Marcus Wheaton. Storm Woods, the lone back. Gets the handoff, slides through up the middle. Woods puts his pads down and plows his way to the 30-yard line. How about 2 plays of 21 to catch, and now 17 on the ground by Storm Woods.
Wisconsin's blitzing their linebackers, and that creates no levels in the defense. So if you can get past the first level, it's off to the races. Storm Woods, a nice jump cut, gets up to the 3rd level onto the safeties. Another first down for Oregon State.
Chains are moving for Oregon State. Another little hop and skip. Storm Woods into the pile, picks up 2. Timeout, Oregon State. Trying to find their way before half, Joel, to grab a few more points, whether it's in the end zone or off the foot of Romaine. 2nd down. Going up on 30 seconds to play. Smart pass, Wheaton to catch, got out of bounds, stops the clock. That brings up 3rd down and short.
That's too easy. Defensively, corners have to understand the game situation. Under 40 seconds, first downs and out of bounds will stop the clock, and you just allow them to throw a hitch. That's too easy. A quarterback and a wide receiver will be able to do that all the way down the field. Wisconsin has got to adjust their coverage right now.
3rd down and 3. 32 ticks left on the first half clock. And Mannion back under center. Up top. Out of bounds, Kevin Cummings. Put it right up top, and Cummings with the reception, but out of bounds.
Good coverage from the secondary. That's number 5, Darius Hillary. He goes up, gets a hand in the face of Cummings, who was out of bounds anyways. Mannion with a pretty accurate throw, but Wisconsin again forcing a kick, gets itself off the field. Another field goal try for Oregon State.
Trevor Romaine hit from 43 earlier in this quarter. This will be from 40 yards. Right hash. Kicks away. No good. Romaine misfires from 40.
A huge boost for Wisconsin. That wasn't even close. Tries to act at the end like he gets knocked down for running into the kicker, but not even close. That's about 10 yards wide.
Oregon State dominates half number 1, Joel, but comes away with just 3 points.
They never created any rhythm for themselves, and you got to credit Oregon State because defensively they were flying around, stopping the run. When those opportunities presented themselves, Oregon State's got to be thrilled going into halftime with a 3-0 lead.
Oregon State will get the football when we start the second half. Right now, the Beavers up by 3. A hard-hitting first half here in Corvallis, Oregon. Oregon State dominating offensively, but yet only a 3-point lead. Craig Bolerjack and Joel Klett, welcome back. Boy, interesting storyline here. 13th ranked Wisconsin. Doesn't look like Badger football right now.
No, it doesn't. Offensively, they haven't been able to run the ball, and that's been the staple of Brett Bielema and really all the way back to Barry Alvarez when you're talking about Wisconsin. So Oregon State doing a heck of a job defensively, especially in the middle of their defensive front, not allowing Montee Ball to get loose. Montee Ball only 34 yards in the first half, and because sacks count against rushing yards, Wisconsin only 18 rush yards, 1.5 yards per rush for the Wisconsin Badgers, with an offensive line that averages 320 pounds a pop against a very small defensive line for Oregon State. Oregon State's done a heck of a job running to the football and tackling in the open field.
All right, so that brings us to adjustments as we look at the first half stats brought to you by Geico. Rush yards, obviously a big concern for Wisconsin.
Absolutely. They've got to get that going in the second half. The adjustment for me would be trying to attack the perimeter of the Oregon State defense because the middle has been so stout with that defensive line. Montee Ball has got to get loose on the outside, and then Danny O'Brien's got to get better on third down. 0 for 6 on third down. They need those first downs in order to develop continuity through the play calling during the second half. Here's the quarterback comparison. Danny O'Brien, Sean Mannion. Sean Mannion, 177 yards. He threw the ball 30 times. It was very clear that Wisconsin was going to sell out to stop the run. Oregon State was going to allow them to do that, take the easy throws on the outside. But Danny O'Brien's got to step up. Transfers from Maryland, has 2 years of eligibility left. He's a junior, and he needs to step up. The former freshman of the year in the ACC needs to have a big half for Wisconsin here in Corvallis. The board.
Kyle French is sent to kick away from the 35-yard line. Marable in the end zone and is chopped down inside the 15-yard line. Petros, you had a chance to talk to both coaches. I know you just got done talking to Wisconsin. What's the feel on that field right now?
Well, the feel right now is that Brett Bielema feels fortunate to only be down 3 in this game. He wants a better push up the middle from his offense. He wants better play on the perimeter from his offense, and he wants them to be better on 2nd and 3rd down. He feels fortunate, though, that his defense, after 44 plays, only down 3. Obviously, Mike Riley wants more points. Should be a great second half, guys.
So here we go. We start at the 15-yard line. 3-0 Oregon State, 3rd quarter. Under center is Mannion. Storm Woods pushes the pile for a tough 2 to the 17. Shelton Johnson, Pat Muldoon with the initial hit. And losing a hat is Woods. He'll go to the sideline. Interesting rule change this year. Joe, I tell you, anyone who plays, I would just think, you know what, you just strap it a little bit tighter.
It used to be just an equipment timeout.
Yes.
You come up, you adjust the chin strap. Now you got to come out for a play unless there is a foul and your helmet comes off due to an infraction. Then you can stay in the game.
Malcolm Agnew jumps in. Mannion sets and fires. Incomplete, batted down by Wisconsin. Reaching out was Cromartie. Number 14, the senior out of Mansfield, Texas.
He's got good makeup speed. Watch how there's a step created, and then it's cut down by Cromartie. Comes over the face of the tight end to bat that ball down. Very good coverage from Marcus Cromartie, the senior from Mansfield, Texas.
Wisconsin adds a nickel back in Hillary. It's a passing situation on 3rd down and 7. Pressure from the edge. Right on the money. Found a little seam and threw a dart to Marcus Wheaton. Making his 18th consecutive start for Oregon State, and on a big 3rd down, Oregon State picks up 18.
How about the adjustment by Marcus Wheaton to go back to his back shoulder and catch that ball going down to the ground? What a terrific adjustment on the route. Breaks, ball behind him, goes down to the ground, secures it for the 1st down.
Into the pile goes Agnew. He'll pick up maybe 2 yards to the 37.
They've been so active throwing the football. Already 7 catches on the day for Marcus Wheaton. 75 yards, an average of just under 11 yards per catch. So not all the way down the field, but very efficient underneath the number 2.
2nd down from the eye. Little draw. 1 tackle broken. Agnew to midfield and beyond. Cromartie and that secondary had to come up and make the stop. He got into the 3rd level after being nearly taken down right at the line of scrimmage. A pickup of 16.
Well, they're going to corner blitz, which makes the defense rotate. That defense in the back end rotates. 53 has to come out of the box, which means 1 block against Portland in the middle opens up that entire lane for a 1st down.
Agnew chopped down, regained his feet to the line of scrimmage. He'll be 2nd down. Agnew has that breakability. Last season, week 1, Sacramento State, 223 yards and 3 touchdowns. The rest of the season, though, 56 carries for 200.
Last year against Wisconsin, they only averaged 1 yard a carry. Today, 18 rushes, 82 yards on the ground for over 4.5.
Play clock to full. Mannion got the snap, throws, caught, pitch and catch, Wheaton, and out of bounds he goes at the 37-yard line, close to a 1st down.
The chess match being played between the coordinators is always fascinating for me to watch. As soon as the run game starts being established by Oregon State, Wisconsin commits another defender into that run box, Craig, allowing one-on-one coverage on the outside. Sean Mannion recognizes that and gives Wheaton the ball right away, allows him to exploit the one-on-one defense.
207 yards now for Sean Mannion, 12th consecutive game with 200 or more yards for Oregon State. He wants some more. Flies it out to the flat, breaks a tackle down the sideline and dances out of bounds at the 18-yard line.
I want you to watch the block of Marcus Wheaton. He's going to get out in front of Cooks and get Cromartie to the ground right there. Just that slight hesitation that Cromartie has to make to back up from Marcus Wheaton allows Cook the running lane to get down inside the 20-yard line.
Back-to-back pass plays of 12 and 18 yards. And the confidence growing snap by snap for Sean Mannion. Three-step drop, up top he goes, man covers and overthrows the shoulder of Marcus Wheaton, who clearly has become Mannion's favorite target.
Petros, Wheaton is getting one-on-one coverage, and Mannion wants to exploit it. I thought Wheaton ran a great route. Mannion just overthrew him on that last play.
And he had a little room out here to the edge. He could have gotten out there. The one thing that impresses me, Joel, is Mannion very confident. I mean, he stands up and throws with the best of them. He's not afraid.
10th play of this drive. Second down, 15 on the ground. Stop, starts again. Third effort. Inside the 15 rumbles Agnew.
Petros, there's that jump cut that we saw from Montee Ball. This time, it's Agnew, jumps all the way out to the outside to find the crease.
Right now, Agnew has caught a rhythm at tailback, and they're bringing him out of the game and bringing in their third down back, Jordan Jenkins. But Agnew is the guy I thought would be the starter this entire season. It turned out to be Storm Woods. He won the job in camp, but Agnew's got the rhythm right now, and I like his balance, really good balance.
Need 12 yards to move the chain. Sets his feet, throws to the end zone. Touchdown! And the money to Cooks.
Almost looked like a blown assignment.
Extra point, splits the uprights. And Oregon State, opening drive of half number 2. It's Mannion to Brandon Cooks. Oregon State up 10 on 13th ranked Wisconsin. He's the lone back on first down. Now this crowd comes alive with a 10-point lead, 41-yard line, under 3 minutes to play, third quarter. Montee Ball cannot get out of the backfield. He'll lose a yard, back to the 40-yard line. And Fafita and Welch, who should earn a game ball for the way he's played today.
Welch has been fantastic, but Petros, Wisconsin has found no ability to find space for Montee Ball, a guy who averages 142 yards in his last 19 starts.
And the haphazard play calling, like you just said, has not established Montee Ball, and it's even tougher for the Badgers right now because their star wide receiver, Jared Abrederis, is likely not going to return to this game with a chest injury.
Shotgun on second down. Pressure from the edge. Oh, they just sniff him out. Welch again puts Ball down on the turf at the 35.
DJ Welch is all over the field. An open field tackle against the Heisman finalist from a year ago, and the Beavers are feeling it on the sideline.
They're doing jumping jacks down on the field, and the crowd's joining in. O'Brien gets Wisconsin back to the line of scrimmage, +1. Welch made the hit on Duckworth. And that brings up 4th down for the Badgers.
And another 3 and out. What a job by the Oregon State defense. They have been sensational today against the Heisman finalists from a year ago, Montee Ball and Wisconsin.
Now the redshirt freshman Drew Meyer out of Heartland, Wisconsin will punt. Nice. Poyer drives himself back to the 10-yard line. Beautiful punt off the foot of Drew Meyer. Oregon State fired up in Corvallis. Up by 10 on 13th ranked Wisconsin. Final minute here in quarter number 3. Total yards 323. Oregon State, Wisconsin, which is 79 yards for nearly 3/4 of football.
And that man right there, Mark Banker, the defensive coordinator.
Wheaton got the ball. He went in motion and tried to hit the edge. He did. Picked up, let's call it 8, maybe 9.
Petros, you've been around a long time. You know Mark Banker well, and this is one of the great game plans that he's devised in a long time.
Absolutely, guys, and we set it up in the open. Oregon State is going to play defense from the outside in. It starts with their 2 corners, and they have been excellent today. Rashad Reynolds and, of course, Jordan Poyer, the all-Pac-12 performer. And inside, they've flown around and punished them and suffocated Montee Ball. He's had nothing today.
Teron Ward, number 28 in the backfield on 2nd down and 2. They throw it near side. Cooks the catch. Stops and goes and reaches out past the 26. Well, this wide receiving core of Oregon State's been very impressive, led by Cooks and Wheaton, Colby Prince and Hamlet, Connor Hamlet, the tight ends.
You know, this offense is taking shape already. Now, this is their first game, I understand, but we're 15 minutes away from an upset here in Corvallis. Oregon State up 10-0, all the momentum. They beat them up physically.
15 minutes of football. 10-0 Oregon State. First time shutout after 3 quarters since 2005. It was against Syracuse back in 1997. The last time Wisconsin was shut out in a football game. That's going back 15 years. Wheaton got the ball out of the backfield, and Badgers saw it coming. They knock him down to the 21-yard line, and he'll lose 6 yards.
This is where Sean Mannion has to protect the football. 15 minutes to go, 1 quarter left, and you're going to upset the number 13 ranked team in the country. But mistakes like putting the ball on the ground, like what just happened in that exchange, will get you beat.
254 yards, 12 straight games with over 200 for Sean Mannion. Young sophomore pedals back, sets up a screen, a middle screen. Ward stumbles his way. They'll down him at the 31-yard line. Petros, give us a feel for what's going on here in quarter number 4.
Guys, we talked about it. The crowd was a little quiet in the first half, just 3-0. But now they've come to life, and just like Joel talked about, they smell an upset. But remember, Wisconsin has already been in a 4-quarter game this year. They know what it's like, and they're going to find out about their quarterback, Danny O'Brien, that transfer from Maryland, right now.
Last week they gave up 3 touchdowns, remember, in the second half to Northern Iowa. As Bielema told us, they let up the pedal. They haven't pushed it down today at all. Tough throw, it's out of bounds as the pressure came on Mannion. Now, Wisconsin was rolling along pretty good last week. But then the 3 touchdowns that were led in the end zone by the Badger defense to make a close ball game not so close.
And some blown assignments, but the defense today has been very good. No missed assignments. In fact, on 3rd down, they've only allowed 4 of 14 conversions for Oregon State. And again, we see Oregon State out punting the football back to Wisconsin.
High snap, pressure, got the kick away was Costal. And he punted that ball to the Wisconsin sideline, and they're going to mark it out of bounds, 40-yard line. So good field position for Wisconsin. James White lines up alongside O'Brien. Down by 10, they start this drive, 40-yard line. Into a pile of orange, maybe a yard. So a last-second field goal by Sacramento State, and after losing to Colorado State last week, the Buffaloes start this season at 0-2. O'Brien. Wide open, Duckworth the catch at midfield.
The offensive line starting to wear out this defensive front. Those speed rushers, Dylan Wynn from De La Salle High School, Scott Crichton, speed rushers on the outside, both freshmen All-American last year. They've been unable to get pressure on Danny O'Brien during the course of this series.
2 turnovers committed by Wisconsin in this ball game. They're inside Oregon State territory at the 48-yard line. O'Brien sets his feet, throws in traffic, nearly intercepted by Murphy. That would have been his second interception of the afternoon.
And it should have been. It hit him right in the hands. Watch him read the eyes of O'Brien and jump back into the throwing lane. Tries to catch it against his pads instead of into his hands. Ryan Murphy could have sealed it down with that one.
Again, Wisconsin faced with 4th down. They're 1 of 2 on conversions. They need a yard. On the hands, Montee Ball, you got to go to him. That ball popped free for a moment. Concentration, he brought it back in, and the Badgers continue to push the football down the field.
I love the route by number 15, Jeff Duckworth. Do you see him pick off the defender's man coverage, allowing Ball to be open in the flat?
5 wide receivers set. 9th play of this drive. O'Brien takes the snap, fires a dart on the money to Duckworth. They're chipping away, Joel. 4 or 5 yards a pop. It'll be 2nd down and 5.
I like the way Wisconsin is going about this because O'Brien does have a sense of urgency. You see the tempo. There's not a lot of time, but it's just a 10-point game. Take what they give you.
Under 5 minutes left. O'Brien. Good protection. Good coverage downfield. Flushed. Pointing, throwing, incomplete. Fafita. Relentless. Pressuring O'Brien.
Petros, this is when it's so important to have those great corners. They can cover guys up. They can play man-to-man, and Oregon State has them in Reynolds and as well as Jordan Poyer.
And Rashad Reynolds has ended up making a lot of tackles because they're trying to pick on him. He's doing a great job. They're just not even throwing at Jordan Poyer. He is that good, guys. He locked down a whole side of the field.
11th play of this drive. The clock is under 5 minutes. Low snap. O'Brien going up top. Rashad Reynolds right on the hip of Montee Ball. Just able to tip it away.
It's exactly what we've been talking about. The ability to cover man-to-man. Reynolds step for step with Montee Ball. No chance for the completion near the goal line.
Put that big mitt right between the 2 hands of Montee Ball. 4th down. So far on this drive, Wisconsin 2 for 2. They need 4 yards. Flag on the far side.
Illegal shift, offense. Penalties decline. 1st down, Oregon State.
minutes from an upset in Corvallis. Mike Riley, he felt good yesterday. It could come to fruition. Rashad Reynolds shutting down Montee Ball. 10-0 Oregon State. Agnew swarmed under. There are some streaks that are in jeopardy here. Wisconsin, 33 straight non-conference wins. 1997, the last time the Badgers shut out, it was against Syracuse. That's 193 games.
I know some people wondering about the Rose Bowl. Those non-conference wins are in regular season only. Brett Bielema has not lost a regular season non-conference game.
Clock hits 3:15 to play. Here in quarter number 4. 10-point Oregon State lead. Again, they stay on the ground. I'll bring it third down. Borland, the middle linebacker. Racer Stadium, 45,000 strong, upset-minded. You bet they are. 9 wins versus ranked teams, Joel, over the last 7 years by that man, Mike Riley and company.
They got number 1 USC in that streak. They got number 2 Cal, number 3 USC in a different year.
Fighting Woods. He'll get a couple. That brings up 4th down. Wisconsin burns a timeout. They're down 10. Oregon State will punt away with 3:02 left. Make sure you stay tuned. Coming up right after we're done here in Corvallis, the AT&T postgame show. Patrick O'Neill, Joey Harrington, Eddie George will be in the studio to recap it. The Tide rolls. And Oregon State's trying to roll. That one came off the side of the foot. Gets a little bounce up around the 35-yard line. As we're Wisconsin down 10, we'll start this drive with 2:55 to play. There are no timeouts remaining for the Badgers. 2 should Oregon State need them. And now it's the focus. The pressure lands on the man who transferred from Maryland, Danny O'Brien. Very little offense to speak of today for Wisconsin. Montee Ball alongside. Now he goes in motion. Low snap. O'Brien sets, throws up top. Ball, the intended receiver. There's a flag out. And they flag DJ Welch for contact. Pass interference.
Pass interference. Defense, number 4. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Little bump, little push. They both look for the ball.
There's definitely a little contact, but DJ Welch goes back for the ball. That's not a penalty. That is a poor call by the officials in a big moment in this game. That was terrific coverage by DJ Welch.
O'Brien back to work. Slingshots into the near side. Duckworth the catch. And they're going to continue to run the clock. Did not get out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Second down 3. Badgers need to hurry. They're down 10, 2:30 to play. O'Brien throws on the money, complete, and that stops the clock. Duckworth the catch. 2:21 to play. And again, the AT&T postgame show straight ahead after we finish here. Disappointing start for Penn State. It continues. And right here, the upset of the day in college football is 2:14 away. Flag is down far side. Duckworth stumbles and is tackled in the 23.
Offside. Defense, number 78. Penalties to decline. Second down.
Well, an interesting drive here for Wisconsin. A lot of flags out. Badgers Beavers trying to take advantage as they move the football. O'Brien sets and throws. A one-hopper incomplete. That was A.J. Jordan, the intended receiver.
I'm surprised that they've stayed with the free access or the deep responsibilities for both corners. You've got Rashad Reynolds and Jordan Poyer having to give a lot of cushion, allowing Wisconsin to just throw the ball underneath rather than playing the nice umbrella cover 2, which would allow those corners to play up tight to the line of scrimmage.
Ball carries the ball past the 15 to the 11. That was the first third down conversion converted by Wisconsin in this football game.
Got to score quickly. 2-possession game.
O'Brien in the pocket, end zone. Nearly intercepted, incomplete. Rashad Reynolds. I'll tell you, Duckworth came back to play some defense and wrapped him up.
He had to. This ball was thrown all the way behind him. Really poor throw from Danny O'Brien. Reynolds had a great chance at this. Duckworth turns into the best defender on the field on that play. Knocks the ball away from Reynolds.
O'Brien barking out the play, 7th play of this drive. Second down at the 12-yard line. Badgers down 10. The clock hits 1:41 left. O'Brien in the pocket, looking to the end zone. Up top! Incomplete! Through the hands of A.J. Jordan.
How about Danny O'Brien comes back and throws an absolute strike to A.J. Jordan. Perfect right over the linebackers. Felt like that ball should have been caught.
Third down and 10. 5 wide, receiver set. Empty backfield. O'Brien, the pump, the throw. Touchdown, Badgers. It goes to the tight end, Pedersen. And that long offensive drought comes to an end with 1:30 to play.
Trying to find their best outside offensive weapon, Jacob Pedersen, and they're able to do that. Right across the middle of the field. Good field awareness by Pedersen, knowing where the goal line is for the touchdown.
Kyle French will try the point after. Chip shot, splits the uprights. And an onside kick you could bet coming up for Wisconsin. Down 3 on Fox. 1:31 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Wisconsin late touchdown.
Quickly, a lot of people don't know this. There's a rule change in college
Yes.
football. If this ball's kicked directly into the ground to promote that high bounce, the receiving team will have a chance to make it a fair catch. That is a new rule this year.
A little dribble. It gets the 10 yards. Ball's down. Who's got it? They're going to peel them off one by one. Wisconsin points one way. Oregon State the other. Badger football.
Got to go 10 yards. Looks like French just slid around it. Wow, athletic play from the kicker.
That ball had to go 10 yards. It looks like he did that hook slide around about 11 yards in.
Oh, it looked like it may have touched his left arm. What a great look from our camera crew. That ball had to go past the 45-yard line before Wisconsin could touch it. And it looked like in that last look that the left arm.
Yes, it went 9 yards, and it is under a review in the booth.
Watch Kyle French's left arm when he slides around this ball. It's down on the ground right there.
Joel, when you look at this, did it go back and did it bounce past and came back? Did it hit number 8 for Oregon State?
That is very tough to tell, and the ruling on the field is Wisconsin ball, so they're going to have undisputable video evidence to overturn this. That's going to be very tough to overturn.
After review, it was determined number 94 of the kicking team touched the ball. The illegal touching gives the ball at the 44.5-yard line.
Side 1:31 left to play in this one. It's a 3-point game. And now Oregon State trying to protect the football. Remember, there are no timeouts remaining for Wisconsin. And Joel, this is such an interesting ball game. Very little offense, but then big plays and big decisions in the booth will impact the finish, and I'm sure it will be talked about during the week.
Especially because of that touchdown from O'Brien to Pedersen, drawing them within 3. They had the momentum offensively. You got the feeling that they were going to at least get themselves into somewhat of a kicking opportunity. But it goes the other way upstairs, and Oregon State is going to knock off their 10th ranked team in the last 8 years under Mike Riley.
Flags fly. This the Big Ten officiating crew has been challenged today, led by Mike Cannon. A game of high stakes.
Offside, defense number 53 with contact. The penalty includes a 10-second runoff. Please set the game clock to 38 seconds. Ready for play clock will be at 40 seconds.
Mike Riley, he looked confident in his offense yesterday.
You talked about it.
Oh, yes.
He absolutely did. He feels better now.
Yes.
Trust me, there's no anxiety now, but yesterday we sat in his offense, and he had that smile on his face. He said, guys, I know we were 3-9 a year ago, but I feel good about that. And Mark Banker did a heck of a job today as well.
Now the final seconds are running off, and they're going to storm the field. Upsetting Corvallis. Sean Mannion led the way. And a happy Mike Riley on the field with Petros Papadakis.
Coach, just talk about how gratifying this win was and how tough it was to hang on at the end.
Well, it was tough, and it was going to get scary there. It looked like they had touched the ball early, but that was my perspective. But a great job by our football team today.
Well, you talked to us yesterday. You talked about how you felt good about this football team. What gave you that confidence? You didn't even get to play your opener last week.
Well, you know, if you can go on what they've been doing, you know, which is working hard, no distractions, a lot of good football in practice, I think I've got a good sense about this club, so we'll just see if we can keep going.
What does this mean for the Beavs going forward, and what does this mean for the program as a whole? You get Wisconsin to come in here, and you beat them in your house.
I love it. I love it. I appreciate Wisconsin coming here. We don't get a lot of our play, so I appreciate coming here. You know, it's the biggest non-league game we've ever had in this stadium. Highest ranked. It was a great deal. So we're excited about this, obviously.
Congratulations, Coach, and enjoy it tonight. Thanks a lot.
Anguish, despair for Wisconsin. The Badgers, 13th ranked in the country. Upset on the road in Corvallis. Elation, Mike Riley.